Take a look at how to add Font Awesome font icons to our Adobe Muse project. First of all, we're going to take a look at what icon fonts are. So essentially they are actually fonts similar to text fonts, but instead they're glyphs or icons. And we can see with Font Awesome here we have a huge range of icon fonts. Everything we could possibly want for icons is here. I think there's over 360, there we go, 361 icon fonts. And they're very easy to implement. It's as simple as selecting the icon font, grabbing the code and pasting it onto the page. But first of all, we have to set our Muse project up for the fonts. And it's very, very straightforward. So we're going to go to Get Started here. And we can see that the icon fonts, the Font Awesome icon fonts, they use a CDN or a content distributed network, which is great because that means that we can copy and paste this link in, which is a CSS link. We can use that in Muse and we don't have to upload any files. Now, the downside of that is that you need an internet connection when you're designing in order to render the fonts. And it can slow Muse down a bit as Muse is trying to render the fonts. So a good idea is to design your site first with maybe some placeholders of where you want the fonts, and then to put the fonts in at the end to keep the speed of your workflow going. However, we're going to just work on a brand new site, a clean site, just so that we can see the process. So we have two bits of code here that we can use. We don't need Bootstrap because that would be if we were building a site from scratch using HTML. We just need this one here. So I'm just going to grab that link and then I'm going to switch to Muse and I'm going to create a new site. I'm just going to go with the basic settings here and open up, right click and choose Page Properties to pull up our page properties, and I'm going to go to Metadata and I'm going to paste that link in there and click OK. Now that means that every page that we build after that using this template will be enabled for icon fonts. Now I'm going to open up the home page here and I'm going to go back to our icon fonts and I'm going to go to the icons and I'm going to choose this first one here, which is this compass. I'm going to grab this code, copy it, go back to Muse, and if I just paste it in, I don't need to use the insert HTML, I can just paste it in here, and there we have it. We have our icon font. Now because it's a font, a piece of text or viewed as text, we can use some of our text tools. We can't use all of them, and we can't use padding and spacing on this because it is actually HTML. We can see here by clicking Edit HTML, and we can see the HTML there. But we can use the font tools to resize it and change its color and set its alignment. So I'm going to put that up to, in fact, I'm going to put that to 120. Now it may take a second or so for Muse to re-render, for the connection to go back to the server and to re-render the font, but it doesn't take that long. And then I'm going to center it in this panel. And you can see it takes a little bit there to re-render, and I'm just going to reduce the size of this panel down. Now we can use the font color here, and I can change the color of that font or that icon, and then we can use it, we can resize it, we can change the angle of it, we can do all sorts of things with it because it is a icon font, so a piece of text essentially. However, we might want a rollover effect in. Now if we just chose this, and let's put a link in there, let's put http://musegrid.com. Now essentially that is now a link, so if I went to preview, we have a link here, but we don't have the rollover effect. Now if we go to our link styles here and we choose our link styles, we can see that we should have a rollover or hover effect. Let's change this to, let's say, green. And let's see what happens now. So that should be applied. So let's go to preview here now. and still no rollover effect. But there is a workaround to make this happen. So I'm going to remove that link there, and I'm going to go into my hyperlinks. I'm going to go into edit styles, and I'm going to create a new style. You don't have to do this, but this is just so that you know. I'm going to call it icon fonts, and I'm going to change some colors here. So I'm going to have this pink, we'll hover to green, visited will be pink, and active will have blue. Switch off underlining because we don't need any of that, and click OK. Now I'm also going to choose, now I've got that selected, I'm going to choose the text link style and choose icon font. So that style is now selected. But we still don't have the rollover happening. What we have to do here is go to edit HTML, and we need to put our link in here. So I'm going to just type in href equals, and I'm going to put in here http:// So I'm going to put the full URL to the link, and then don't forget to close the link off with the closing A tag. So I've wrapped that icon in the A tag. Okay, so I've clicked that. Now let's preview, and now we have a nice rollover effect. So just to go over that again, we don't use the links here in the links panel. We can choose our link style here for that icon font, but we need to actually add the code, wrap the code around the font, the link around the font, to actually make that hyperlink work. And once you do that, it works perfectly well. So that's icon fonts. Very easy to install, very easy to use. Bear in mind that they will slow down Muse when you're working on it. So as I said before, with your workflow, start with designing your site and add your icon fonts at the end if you want to speed up your workflow. But they're very easy to use. They work on all your mobile devices, so you can use them. They're great for building icons in mobile and tablets. We've used them quite extensively on musegrid.com on some of our templates. And have fun, see what you can do. Thanks for watching.